Luke Woodham's writings. Writing assignment, 9th grade, 1995 to 1996. Students were asked to write about how they would spend the day as their teacher. If I could spend a day as Mrs. Neal, I would be very, very nice to Luke Woodham and pass him for the year. Then I would knock the crud out of the omniscient dork for putting junk on my computer. Then I would go crazy and kill all of the other teachers. Then I would slowly and very painfully torture all of the principals to death. Then I would withdraw all of my money in the bank and give it to Luke Woodham. Then I would get all the other teachers' and principals' bank account numbers, withdraw all of the money, and give it to Luke Woodham. And then I would do acid. And then I would get a gun and blow my brains out all over the god-darn room and leave my house to Luke Woodham. Writing assignment, 9th grade. The assignment was to write about an incident that upset his parents, but Luke decided to write fiction instead. I've never really done anything bad, so I'll make up a story. One day, I killed a guy and shot his dog in the butt with a friggin' pellet gun. And then I went to a phone booth and robbed it by yanking a little coin box out of it. And then I threw water balloons at some nuns, and I went inside their church and set the priest's wig on fire. It was the first time I'd heard a good Catholic person say GD. Then I burned the church down, and then I danced around it and sung to 9 Inch Nails songs, one called Heresy and another called Terrible Lie. And then I robbed a bank and set it on fire. I love setting things on fire, and killed all the tellers. When the police came, I killed them all, and when the National Guard came, I killed most of them, but they finally caught me. From his journal, April 1997. I am the hatred in every man's heart. I am the epitome of all evil. I have no mercy for humanity, for they created me. They tortured me until I snapped and became what I am today. My advice to any man who has been tortured by humanity is this. Let these words ring out in our hearts, minds, and souls. Hate humanity. Hate humanities. Hate what humanity has done to you. Hate what you have become. Oh, most of all, hate the accursed God of Christianity. Hate him for making humanity. Hate him for making you. Hate him for flinging you into a monstrous life you did not ask for nor deserve. Fill your heart, mind, and soul with hatred until it's all you know. Until your conscience becomes a fiery tomb of hatred for the goodness in your soul. Hate everyone and everything. Hate where you were and are. Hate until you can't no more. And then learn, read poetry books, philosophy books, history books, science books, autobiographies and biographies. Become a sponge for knowledge. Study the philosophies of others and condense the parts you like as your own. Make your own rules. Live by your own laws. For now, truly, you should be at peace in your own true self. Live your life in a bold new way. For you, dear friend, are a Superman. From his journal, April 14th, 1997. On Saturday of last week, I made my first kill. The date was April 12th, 1997, about 4:30 p.m. The victim was a loved one. My dear dog, Sparkle. Me and an accomplice had been beating the bitch for a while, and last Tuesday I took a day off from school just because I didn't want to go. My friend came over and we beat the dog. In process of doing so, we hurt her leg. Later in the week, about Thursday, I'd say, my brother said she was limping. He suggested we take the dog to the vet, but I talked him out of it, saying she probably stepped on something hard, that she'd be okay in a day or two. Saturday, my brother brings up the vet again, but said he didn't have the time to do it today but he would do it next week. I was afraid the vet would notice all the bruises on the dog and I'd get in trouble. So I called my accomplice and he came over at 2. We beat the dog, tied her up in a plastic garbage bag, put that bag in another bag. We put the subdued little pooch in an old bag and went to some woods. When we got out the woods, I took a billy club. I handed it to my accomplice. He ran and hit the bagged dog with it. I'll never forget the howl she made. It sounded almost human. We laughed and hit her hard. I picked up the book bag, which was now soaked in her blood, and dragged her across the ground and dropped into the woods. A hole developed in the bag, and the dog stuck her head out, fully engulfed in flames. We put more on her and more and more and more. She got out and tried to run. I took the nightstick and hit her in the shoulder, spine, and neck. I'll never forget the sounds of her bones breaking. We set her on fire again. The foolish dog opened her mouth and we sprayed fluid down her throat. Her whole neck caught on fire inside and out. Finally, the fire went out and she was making a gurgling noise. I silenced the noise with the club again. I hit her so hard the crust burnt scar on her shoulder fell off. I hit her so hard I knocked the fur off her neck. Then we put her in the burnt bag and chucked her in a nearby pond. We watched the bag sink. It was true beauty. From his journal, June 3rd, 1997. This night, June 3rd, 1997, is a momentous night. With this writing, I do swear that I shall never get myself in a position where I can be hurt by a woman ever again. To myself I swear this, and to the high powers I swear this. I am not insane. I am angry. This world has shit on me for the final time. I am not spoiled or lazy, for murder is not weak and slow-witted. Murder is gutsy and daring. I killed people because, like me, are mistreated every day. I did this to show society, push us, and we will push back. I suffered all my life. No one ever truly loved me. No one ever truly cared about me. I only loved one thing in my whole life, and that was Christina Manifi. But she was torn away from me. I tried to save myself but she never cared for me. As it turns out, she made fun of me behind my back while we were together. And all throughout my life, I was ridiculed. Always beaten, always hated. Can you, society, truly blame me for what I do? Yes, you will. The ratings wouldn't be high enough if you didn't. And it wouldn't make good gossip for all the old ladies. But I shall tell you one thing. I am malicious because I am miserable. The world has beaten me. Wednesday, 1st, 1997 will go down in history as the day I fought back. At this time, Grant, say what you will. When you are through, I ask you to read them Sec 125 of the Gay Science, The Madmen. This is a reference to Gay Science by Nietzsche. Grant, see you in the holding cell. I, Luke Woodham, being of sound mind and sound body, do hereby will to Grant Boyette my books. To Lucas Thompson, my guitars and amplifier and their equipment. Also, all of my guitar magazines and guitar books. I leave my music and lyrics to Lucas Thompson so that he may perform them. I also leave my other writings of philosophy and poetry to Grant Boyette. They are part of me and may be published as a process of life. Also, to Grant Boyette, I will all of my cassette tapes. It was not a cry for attention. It was not a cry for help. It was a scream in sheer agony saying that if I can't pry your eyes open, if I can't do it through pacifism, if I can't show you through displaying intelligence, then I'll do it with a bullet.